Make that big boss less special. It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level.
Hello, Internet, and welcome back, or welcome to Indie Please Add Details, episode 21. My name's Keegan, one half Love 2 Gamers, hanging out with Tom, the other half Love 2 Gamers. How you doing today, Tom?
I'm great, man. Feeling fresh.
It's
feeling
warm. Warmer. It's 33 degrees.
My toes are still a little
36
chilly,
degrees.
but
it's not.
overall.
It's not. I'm not wearing my jacket.
Yeah,
because
overall
nice.
it's a lot better.
Also, I have a really cool T-shirt. Reptar will probably be keyed out, but I have I got for Christmas a Nicktoons T-shirt that I'm very happy about because I love my Nickelodeon cartoons. Yeah. But this is Indie Please Add Details. If you guys do not know, this is our weekly dip in the world of indie games and indie developers, where we discuss the news and our excursions throughout the week. Topping it all off with a topic of discussion that you can join in the comments, or you can hit us up on Twitter at Love2GamersSTL or in Discord, link in the description. You can find us on your favorite podcast services, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, other places. There's lots of them that go everywhere. Or you can see our lovely faces at Love2Gamers.com, including our studio and the gameplay behind us, and or other pictures or images that you decide to put in post.
Yeah.
It's always fun when I'm like, what's he going to put for the question this time? Because the question one is not ever... Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Sometimes I like, if we talk about certain things in the question, I'll cut in gameplay. But for the most part, like, I have a lot of fun just finding the most random image I can and slapping something on
it. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this week. This is a pretty decent week for indie news. Some sad news to start it off. So
Can I start before you do the detail thing with something real quick? I was on the PlayStation Store this morning, and let me just say, for indie game fans right now, the sale that they have,
it's called the Road to Greatness sale, I believe, is what they called it.
It's so good. Like every single solid indie game of the last 2 years.
I saw Oxenfree on there. I saw Inside on there.
Yeah, there's a ton
just at a quick glance
stuff on there. So I would say if you are a fan of
Human
indie
Fall
games,
Flat, which is actually going to be my spotlight this week, is on sale for $5.50, I think is what it was. I can't remember. Normally like $12.
Great sale.
So yeah, go check it out this week. There is lots and lots of sales.
If you're into indie, or if you're just kind of like you watch the show but you don't really play that many indie games and you want to know some good ones, yeah, go check out Oxenfree, go check out Inside, anything that we've kind of put on a top 10 list or top 5 list, or that we've talked about over the last couple
21 episodes
years. Go and check them out because it's a really good sale for indie this week. Like I might pick up a few myself, but sorry to interrupt you.
Other news too, just so you know, we will have an episode next week. The week after we will not. We will be at Wizard World St. Louis. And ironically, I just realized that Wizard World falls right around our 1-year anniversary. Because our anniversary is February 5th. Technically, the channel started January 31st, but first video was February 5th.
Yeah,
and Wizard World is 2 through 4. So that's weird. I don't know if we're doing... I was going to say, we'll do something to Wizard World for it. We'll make it spectacular, potentially. We'll see. But we'll be there. If you guys are in the St. Louis area, it's Wizard World St. Louis. People like Stan Lee will be there. Bonnie Wright will be there. Billy Boyd. Other Lord of the Rings people, I can't remember their names.
Sean Bean, Sean
That's
Astin.
it. I was like, I know there's Sean's there. Lots of artists. Our friends Thousand Faces Cosplay will be there. So.
I'm really excited. There's an artist for a comic that I really like. Actually, give me 1 second. This
is dangerous.
Here, I don't know if any of you have ever read that spread. Really great comic. It's basically like the Thing, kind of mixed with Baby Cub and Lone Wolf, or Lone Cub and Wolf, or whatever the fuck that Baby Cart and Wolf, whatever. It's like a weird version of the Thing, but that artist is going to be there, so I'm taking. That's why I pulled it out. I'm going to go get it signed.
And no live stream on Sunday the 4th. We will have a live stream on the 25th. No, that's February.
Next Sunday.
28th. 28th. We'll have a stream on the 28th on Sunday. I'm thinking Rec Room VR because we've been playing PUBG. We played some Fortnite, which is a lot of fun. If you don't check us out on streams, we do stream every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And we're streaming on Twitch now.
.tv/Love2GamersSTL.
As opposed to YouTube, just because it's got a bit more in terms of ease of use and frankly, it's just more fun to do it on Twitch. So, yeah.
So, without further ado, let's get into the details here.
Do it.
Detail number 1, it's kind of not happy news to start with, which is ironic because the name of this game is called We Happy Few.
Oh, cool.
Delayed to summer 2018.
Oh, come on,
which
guys.
doesn't surprise me because I have this game. The developers gave us a key for the game way back when it first started. I need to jump in because a lot has changed since I hopped in when it first came out. One of the guys I'm in a Facebook group with for gaming swears by this game at this point. So I was like, okay, maybe I should try it again.
We played it together, actually. I remember playing it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's real weird. I liked it because of the art style, dystopian, like mime-looking art style. But this is from IGN. Compulsion Games has announced We Happy Few will be released a bit later than originally planned. The title, which was previously stated to launch on April 13th, will now be released on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC sometime this summer, which kind of scary that they don't have a date after having a date.
Working on this for so long.
It was early access.
Yeah.
I mean, games take a while.
So this is the 1.0 release?
Yeah, this is full release.
Okay.
This is full release.
That makes more sense.
Compulsion Games also released a new developer video that offers a peek at the game's second playable character, Sally, and outlines what else is ahead in We Happy Few. The eerie survival adventure game set in drug-addled dystopian 1960s England needed some additional time for polish after Compulsion made a substantial change to improve the first 2 hours of Arthur's story. Quote, "We went back to the drawing board and made a couple of big decisions. We brought forward a number of story moments to get into the action faster and also rebuild the whole first island for Arthur," producer Sam Abbott explained. Thanks to the studio's partnership with Gearbox, the scope of the crowd-funded roguelike expanded to a full-feature, story-driven campaign with over 250 encounters and 3 playable characters, each with their own backstory. So, I think the reason they're delaying it is because they made a change. They made a change partway through. I think what happened was they had an idea, and this is the beauty of early access. They had an idea, and fundamentally that idea was great, but they kind of took it was more of a survival-based game, and I think they're moving it more for a story-based game that have survival elements, because when I jumped in, I didn't realize it was survival-based. I thought I was following a studio. Yeah. I thought I was learning, watching or going through a story-type game. I am excited, though, to see what the 2 other characters are, because I really loved Arthur at the beginning, because, I mean, it's English humor. You know how much I love English humor, because I hang out with you. Not really.
So funny. Insert cricket noise.
Yeah. But no, I'm excited for this game. It's always bummed when games get delayed, but it doesn't sound like anything major is going on. That's kind of where I'm at of this, but they don't really say.
Here's what kind of half bothers me about it, and I'm fine with them delaying it if they really are going to give it that much of a cone of paint. Like if they're really going to like redo the entirety of the narrative and
they're not doing the entire thing. They're reworking key moments. I mean?
But like you said, making it from survival into story
and getting into the story quicker. That was my complaint. Is I felt like I was trying to survive more than I was trying to story.
But the thing about it was like when they released the original trailer. Obviously, the trailer was hype for this game. The trailer was fantastic for this game. All of us were very excited about it, and when we played it, we thought, this is cool. It could be better, but it was cool. So I'm excited that they're doing it, but like I feel like it's just been so long with so little, and like I mean,
they've had a bunch of stuff. We just haven't talked about it.
I went to the Halloween store, and there was a We Happy Few mask in there. I'm like, if you have time to make Halloween masks,
well, they're not making them; they're licensing.
Someone is making them.
Yeah, but they're just licensing.
But like, how do you have a Halloween mask for an early access game that isn't even close to being finished? That blew my mind. But yeah, I mean, I want it to be the best game it can be because it has massive potential. And so I'm giving him a pass basically at this point. Like most of the time,
I'm a wait. I mean, I already own the game, so I'm a wait and see at this point because I've already paid it.
So like I haven't really had a chance to play like the newest iterations of it.
I'm not either, but I can tell you again, my friend Don, who is in this group, like every update that comes out, he's always in posting about it, how excited he is about it, and it's kind of like me with with any game that I'm playing at the time, where you're like you wait for that update and the update, okay, here we go, like Division type thing. So he's on it, and I think it's one of those things where like I think it caught me off guard because I was not prepared for it to be survival, and I think now going back into that, it's kind of like seeing The Last Jedi for the second time. I wasn't as pissed as I was the first time because I knew what I was getting into. Yeah, because I was pissed the first time, and I was like, Justin, who went with me the first time, said to watch it again. So did Hayden, to see what I thought about it the second time. Since I knew all the twists and plot details and all that kind of stuff, kind of just look at it from that perspective. And I didn't hate it as much. I still have lots of issues with it.
It's a whole other conversation.
Yes, it's a whole different thing. But no, I'm intrigued to see what this becomes, because this is such a cool, from an art style standpoint, so cool. The story is amazing. Like you have to do these happy pills, and I know me and you, we've talked about it many times, but we very much are depressed people a lot of the time. And
we
like
both take happy pills.
The taking a happy pill thing is like it's so intriguing to have that power of something, and it's just I can't wait to see if the story is good and it's not too much survival elements. I'm excited.
I just love dystopian stuff. I feel like I've been watching Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams.
I saw you post that, and I was gonna be like, whose dick has electric dreams?
But so Philip K. Dick is this sci-fi writer that's like world renowned. He was really famous for a book that he wrote called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep," which I think is a wonderful name for a book. But he was behind. Do you remember A Scanner Darkly? Did you ever watch that? So it was like it was weird. It was Keanu Reeves' movie where basically like it was half CG, half reals. Like it was almost like they pasted CG over the top of real actors. It was very weird.
Was it like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No, way different.
Okay.
I'll have to show you a clip from it, but basically, like that show is kind of like a super sci-fi version of Black Mirror. Black Mirror is sci-fi, but this is like it's super all sci-fi. Like alien worlds and stuff like that. So it's super sci-fi, but it reminds me almost of like one of those types of stories, you know, where like as soon as you stop taking the pill, everything becomes like dark and gloomy, and you see the world for what it really is. So the story is great, and I think if they. As long as it's good, I'll say that. As long as it's good,
delays are never bad.
Take all the time you need. But if it comes out and it's still dog shit, because I mean we'll talk about it tomorrow, but we have some news about The Inpatient, which is quite surprising, and that was a delayed game. So
cool. Detail number 2: SteamWorld Dig carves its way onto Nintendo Switch next week, aka this week.
It's the indie push.
Yeah. Image and Forum Games revealed during a podcast that the original SteamWorld Dig will come to Nintendo Switch on February 1st.
You ever play this?
$9.99. No.
Me neither. I've heard so many
good things about it. That's why I put it in here. Last year, Image and Forum Games released both SteamWorld Dig 2 and SteamWorld Heist Ultimate Edition on Nintendo Switch, carving out a nice little space for themselves on the platform. Now it has been revealed that the studio will be releasing the original SteamWorld Dig on the system next week. This is from DualShockers, by the way. SteamWorld Dig will release on Nintendo Switch on February 1st and will cost $99.99, which is what the title is currently priced at on other platforms. The port was revealed and dated by Image and Forum's Brijan I'm not even try his last name, Sigurusuro.
Let me try it. Sigurgirso.
It's Sigurgersso. During an interview for an upcoming episode of Dan and Koopman's eShop Action Committee podcast, which you can listen to at Nintendo World Report.
Koopman is an easier
name
to spell.
Well, Koopman, I'm assuming is Koopa?
Koopman?
Yeah, maybe. Released on Nintendo Switch makes SteamWorld's Dig ports come full circle as the game initially released on 3DS and helped put Image and Form on the map. After releasing on 3DS in August 2013, SteamWorld Dig made its way onto PC, Mac, and Linux later that year, and then came to PS4 and Vita and Wii U in 2014 before finally releasing on Xbox One in June of 2015.
Yeah.
So, I've not played this game. I've not played any of these games. I've seen people play these games. I watch lots of Let's Plays. They are cool looking. I think I would like them. It's like a resource management type game. So,
I'm not big on resource management. I think you'd like it more than I would, but I do like the art style.
Yes.
I think that's cool.
But it's cool that if you're now a Nintendo Switch owner, you can own all 3 of the games.
Well, it's cool if you're a Nintendo Switch owner and you like indie games right now, because like I feel like every solid indie game, I'm just waiting for like Firewatch and Oxenfree and those guys to find their way onto the Switch. You know?
I wonder if Firewatch doesn't take that much resources to run.
It should be fine on the Switch. If it can handle Skyrim, it can.
The only issue I think I would have with Firewatch is, to me, it felt like more like playing a movie. Yeah, and I wouldn't want to play a movie on my screen. But Oxenfree, I think, would be
remember,
perfect.
You can still plug it in and use the TV. But Oxenfree would be wonderful on there. And
or you pick it up on PS4 right now for like $5 on that sale that you just mentioned.
Yeah,
earlier.
get Oxenfree, dude.
I think it's 5.
So
it's either
good.
5 or 7. I can't remember.
So good.
Detail number 3. Sonic creator Yuji Naka joins Square Enix. Will work on game development. So I put this in here. It's not necessarily indie based. At this point, I feel like we should have a conversation at some point whether Sonic is now considered an indie game or not. The IP is not, but the developers are indie developers.
Yeah.
That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But the reason I put it in here, because obviously Square Enix is not an indie developer, but they publish a lot of indie games.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what this means. I'm assuming he doesn't own... I'm assuming Yuji Naka does not own Sonic, but
no.
This is from DualShockers. Today, Yuji Naka announced on his personal Twitter account that he has joined Square Enix as of January. Naka-san also mentioned that he will be working on game development and his aim is to create an enjoyable title.
Naka-san sounds like a colloquialism for a pair of balls. Hit me in the Naka-sans. No?
No.
Ooh, me Naka-sans.
This is straight from Twitter. Quote, just a quick note to let you know, I have joined Square Enix in January. I'm joining game development as before to strive to develop games at Square Enix. I aim to develop an enjoyable game. Please look forward to it.
That is
definitely
standard Japanese translated to English speech patterns.
In the Japanese version of the tweet, Naka-san also explained that he is thrilled to take on a new challenge at Square Enix, which handles a wider range of genres. Naka-san is mostly known as the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog, but his resume goes far beyond the blue anthropomorphic creatures games.
Sega King, really.
He worked as a programmer, his work as a programmer was instrumental in the creation of the early Phantasy Star games and created titles like Nights into Dreams and Choo Choo Rocket since 1984.
What a game.
Over the past decade, he mostly worked as a producer, and his latest console game has been Rodea, the Sky Soldier for the Wii U, and 3DS. He did not provide any further details on the game he is planning, but it's certainly intriguing to see him work on the development side once more.
Well, that's the thing about, like, I don't think this means, like, Sonic is going to join the Final Fantasy team or anything.
It's kind of like the Hideo... to me, this is my Hideo Kojima. I followed Yuji Naka with Sonic for a long, long time.
Okay.
And, like, anything he does, I always am interested to see what it is. Doesn't mean I'll play it. But him going to Square Enix, and I'm hoping he's working on indie titles, not AAA games.
Well, he did Phantasy Star, as you pointed out. And I think that Phantasy Star and Final Fantasy obviously have a lot in common, not just the name. But I think Square Enix is a good home for him. I think as long as they let him
do his thing,
spread his creative wings a little bit, hopefully something really interesting comes out of it. So, there's no bad part of this news.
No.
It's good for everybody. It just depends on what shows up and how well received it is.
Yeah.
And
I'm
cool.
I'm excited to see what he does with this.
Cool.
Detail number 4. Kickstarter title, Phaland, looks like a modern Zelda 2 in a new teaser trailer.
I saw that. Was that what you were watching when I came in?
That's what I was watching to make sure I could remember what it was.
Yeah, it looks neat.
So this is again from DualShockers. Phaland is a 2D Metroidvania action RPG that, to me personally, shares an intriguing resemblance to Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
The only Zelda which wasn't like the rest, kind of, right?
Other than the ones that were not made by Nintendo.
Aside from like the 3DS ones and stuff.
No, the was it the Philips CDI ones as well were not.
I don't even remember those.
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't want you to. That's the point.
Nintendo was trying to.
It's the whole PlayStation thing where Sony partnered with PlayStation. Nintendo partnered with PlayStation. They pulled out. Then they partnered with Philips. Philips, as part of the deal, could use the IPs. They made a Zelda game and a Mario game that Nintendo wants you to forget exists. So
interesting.
But now it looks like Zelda 2 Adventure of Link, which is pretty cool since most Metroidvania game titles nowadays take a lot of inspiration from either Castlevania Symphony of the Night or Super Metroid. In the game's latest teaser trailer, the game's latest teaser, we get a chance to see what traversing the world will look like. The first thing you'll probably notice is how charming the title's retro art style looks. Yes, and the music.
Looks 16-bit.
As soon as I saw the main character using his shield to block, I couldn't help but feel like the game took a lot of inspiration from Zelda 2. While it's definitely one of the more polarizing Zelda games in the series, there were some great mechanics that would be adopted and refined by other Metroidvania titles in later years. In Phaland, there will be an open world that's yours to explore. Also, why it isn't shown in the trailer, you'll be able to level up, learn new skills, customize yourself with a variety of equipment and weapons to fit your preferred playstyle. Furthermore, the game will also contain large dungeons with a multitude of bosses that you can expect to fight. Phaland is currently in development for PC. The game will be coming to Kickstarter soon. You can check out the teaser trailer on their website.
You know what? I was just thinking when you said there's like a bunch of bosses, I was like, that's one of my favorite things to hear in games nowadays is that there's bosses. Because I feel like...
Open world doesn't allow bosses?
Yeah, it's either they don't have bosses or they have one. Like one
well, unless you're Dark Souls or Bloodborne.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's few games that have like multiple bosses.
Final Fantasy,
Cuphead, I can think of, and even Final Fantasy doesn't really have multiple bosses.
The big turtle dude. That one I know.
The big turtle dude.
Yeah, the big mountain turtle. I don't know what his name is.
I don't know either.
He's the mountain turtle.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh yeah, if I showed it to you, he's literally in the art of everything.
The Don Tombury?
I don't know. It's the mountain that turns into a turtle that you can attack.
All right. So, well, either way,
I never played.
There's mini bosses in some games and stuff, but like I like bosses. Like you remember when you used to play like Streets of Rage, and at the end of the level you would get a boss, and then the next level you would get a boss. Like at the end, it was like a signification that you did good,
that you finished.
Yeah,
or it'd be every 3 levels or whatever. Like Donkey Kong Country is every like 4 levels.
But it was
you
like
have a
something to look
boss.
forward to as well. You're like, oh, I wonder what the boss is going to look like. Cuphead, you know, like they kind of like
they're all bosses.
as
it
well.
feels like.
Well,
kind
but
of.
I still haven't played that yet. I bought it.
It's good.
But
it's hard.
Yeah,
Be prepared
so
to be very angry.
I can't wait to try it. I know I'm going to rage.
Yeah.
But
I put it down when we were recording the Spotlight.
I feel like we should hashtag bring back more bosses or something. Like I feel like I like games that bring bosses. And by the way, if you're wondering about like how to spell this game, because I just looked it up, FAE land, Fae land. Fae as in fairy, not as in Fae like that other indie game that's coming out. FE. So yeah, FAE land. Looks cool though.
It looks really interesting.
I would totally play this.
It reminds me it's Kickstarter. I don't think it's launched yet, but it's coming to Kickstarter.
Looks neat.
Kickstarter coming soon.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. The other thing that I thought of is I can't remember the name of the game right now. It's like it's just launched on PS4. It's been on PC for the longest time, but it's like Kingdom. Basically, building a kingdom, and the art style looks very similar to this game. I can't remember the name of it. Off the top of my head at all. It just released, though, last week on PS4. I want to say Kingdom Bound, but that's not right because that's the name of a music festival I worked for. I can't remember.
I feel like there is a game called Kingdom Bound.
Yeah, but that's not it.
All right,
not ringing a bell.
No bells.
Cool. Next bit of news. Detail number 5 of 6. Rocket League console. Hold on. Take 2.
Try that again.
Rocket League cross-play party support to launch this year.
Okay.
That's a big deal.
So that means that you can party up with people on different consoles?
Let me tell you here, Tom.
Things.
According to a tweet from the official support count of Rocket League, cross-play party support, I can't say that phrase will just twist my tongue, will arrive in 2018, meaning that the game's 40 million plus players will finally be able to invite their friends to play on the same team regardless of platform.
That's neat.
Depending on the platform, players have been able to dribble, doink, and wave dash around the field. Yeah, I'm guessing hitting the ball. Doink. I say spdonk. I'm a spdonker. Around the field with players of other platforms who have not been able to party up, trade, or guarantee that they will be on the same team. The tweet is in response to a Twitter user, Floshki, who tweeted asking when he would be able to play ranked with players on PS4. They responded with this. I want this because...
Wait, on PS4? Isn't PS4 the holdout for crossplay right now?
Exactly. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, at Rocket League support, are you currently working on cross-platform party system? And if so, can you maybe give us a little hint of possible release date? Can't wait to play ranked with my friends on PS4. This is from the official account. Quote, hey there, we're actively working on cross-platform party support for a 2018 release. The ability to party up with friends across platforms has been teased and referenced by Psyonix in several interviews, though this is the first time we're getting mention of a release window. Soon friends will be able to play together, whether they're playing from the office on the Switch or at home on a gaming PC or console. Rocket League is currently available on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
But the PS4 is not cross-platform, is it?
This is making it sound like it is. I don't know. I think this is one of those things that they're working on cross.
I think maybe
platform
they were
party
just answering
system.
the second part of his question and ignoring the fact he said PS4. I
Yeah.
think they were just like, yeah, cross-platform play is coming.
The other thing too is
Except for Sony, who
the other
hate
thing is
everything.
this Rocket League support person may not know the ins and outs of what's going on.
I would like to think
That's the
that
other
he
thing.
did if he was doing their support, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, support is not necessarily telling you
Put a
new
smiley
features
face in there, so he seems like a nice guy or girl.
Yeah. So this is intriguing because I play right now when I play Rocket League because I own it on PS4. I can play Rocket League on PS4 with my friends on PC, and I can play it, and my friends on PC can play with me on PS4 or Xbox, but I cannot play with
Or Switch.
Xbox and PS4 or PS4 and Switch. So I'm hoping that is coming.
You've got to let the floodgates down at some point. I mean, Sony,
but this is also
so pro gamer. It still blows my mind.
The other thing for this is the only way to do that though is in a private match right now. This is making it. We don't ever use the party system when we play, but basically you can party up in there so you can play ranked matches with your friends on different platforms.
Yeah,
which that kind of scares me. I don't think in the case of Rocket League, mouse and keyboard have an advantage. Most people I know on on PC still use controller because it's not like an aim shoot game.
It's not Twitch based.
Yeah,
it's not a Twitch like shooter.
So I'm wondering kind of how this would affect like the ranked matches. If it's just gonna be a global rank now, or is it still platform based? Can you choose to not play cross platform? I want to see the settings because
I'd like to think the team is smart enough to know what they're doing.
To split it up.
You know
yeah,
what I mean, like,
most games will do
this is a highly competitive esport.
Yeah.
And the ranking plays a big part of that. So they're not going to fuck it up by just so people can
And most games that do this, like, so VR is a prime example. There are a lot of games that Ubisoft have that are Vive and Oculus compatible with PS4. And there's a setting that you can say PS4 only, which in VR it really doesn't matter. But in this, it could potentially matter because of rankings, especially in ranked matches.
And that's the other weird thing about PlayStation is that they let you do cross-platform on those games. Just why not Rocket League?
Because it's competition. I guess Oculus technically is competition.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but bolstering the player base?
Who knows?
Who knows? It's because they're not winning VR right now. Actually, they are.
Well, maybe they want those games to stay alive more because they are VR,
because they're newer.
And Rocket League doesn't necessarily need that.
Do you remember when Rocket League launched and the fucking frenzy that happened? Do you remember how many players I said they have? Where is it? 40 million plus players. I want to know how many people got it for free.
Yeah, in comparison to PUBG, the 3 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like that's bananas. Indie games can become massive hits if you do it right.
VANANAS.
But yeah, I remember we did video way back with Jordan because you were in California at the time doing something for work, and we did a whole season with Jordan. And watching those videos are cringeworthy just because of how bad we are. Because I've put between my 2 accounts on PS4, I've put probably. I don't know. It's probably 2, maybe 300 hours into that game.
I only play it on streams, and I have a great time playing it. I always have fun playing it, but I'm not good at it at all.
I bought it again. So I got it when it was free on PS Plus on my personal account, and then I now play more on Level 2 Gamer, so I have not bought PS Plus. So when we streamed that time, like a month or so ago, I didn't have the game because PS Plus had run out. So I was like, oh shit. So I just bought the Ultimate Edition on my new account, or on the Level 2 Gamers account. 2 reasons. One, it's a great game, so might as well just buy. Like, I had no remorse about buying the game. Even if I had already bought it on my other account, I probably would have bought it again because they do it right with DLC. And we talk about like loot boxes and all this, and I have loot crates and special items and all that kind of stuff. But they
a bit of leeway with the
and we even gave away a key. Like, we bought to give away a key when it first launched because we thought it was that good.
Yeah.
So
I still am yet to decide if I want to pick it up for Switch or not. Because it seems like it'd be really fun on the go.
I'm interested. I want to wait to see how well the online functionality stays connected.
That's my holdup. Is that anything online in Nintendo makes me want to cry tears of blood.
But they are now partnered with DNA, so hopefully that'll help.
We shall see.
We shall. And Tom, detail number 6. Because what is Indie Please That Details without a PUBG update? PUBG patch number 6 for Xbox is dropped. And here's what you can expect.
I don't know what's in this. I'm excited. I'm learning now.
So this is from the PUBG community manager over on the boards saying...
When did this drop?
This morning.
Oh, man, I played it last night.
This morning.
All right.
Their patches come out on Tuesdays. Or like Tuesday midnight or 1 a.m.
I'm excited. I'm waiting.
This is from the PUBG community manager. Xbox players, thank you for your continued support and feedback. We have a new patch that will go live at 1 a.m. PST, 10 a.m. CET, so it's already live. Here are some release notes you can get or you can expect for Xbox patch number 6. Gameplay. Auto run functionality has been added. From a standstill, double-click L3 to activate auto run.
Wait, what? So if you double-click it everywhere you move, you're running?
Yes.
Okay.
Players can now drop equipped items with the Y button when the inventory screen is active. I'm happy about that one. Because I had a gun the other day that I wanted to give to you, but I had to switch to another gun to give it, or it was either you or Ben, and I had to switch to another gun to be able to drop it because it was in my inventory.
Okay.
So that's good. Grenades can once again be cycled through by tapping right on the D-pad. That was needed.
That was live last night because I played last night and the right on the... I figured
what
it
time?
Out by like 2 in the morning.
That's why, because this went live at 1 in the morning.
I was going to say, it felt good last night. And you know, I don't know if it's going to be in here, but let me just say this. They've fixed the double tap the L to aim. Now you just press it once.
Really?
And it aims. But
they don't mention that in
here. Hold it. You just tap it and it aims.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Players can now cancel casting actions while inventory screen is active. Optimization, continue optimizing crash fixes. Game controller guide has been updated. And here's some bug fixes. Buildings around the military base have had their collision adjusted. Camera shake when riding as passenger in vehicle has been reduced.
That was crazy.
Inventory character models have returned to the normal stance. Fixed a camera issue created by an unattended aim down sights and free look interactions. A button will no longer refresh game result screen. Team UI will now correctly show the proper direction teammates are facing over larger distances. Player changes to markers on the in-game map will now properly be applied to teammates' in-game maps. Apparently, some people are having issues with it not showing up. Fixed an issue where we're switching to throwables under certain conditions left a player empty-handed. That's not what you want when you're trying to throw a grenade.
Ideal.
Yeah. Adjusted character positioning when exiting vehicles and parachutes. So you have to give PUBG credit,
dude.
Yeah. Even in like this is update number 6 for us on Xbox. Obviously, PC's been out, but like
it's only been out for like what 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
something like that.
Something like that. But they are working. There's been significant changes, and I think this is. Even if they didn't come out and say every week or every 2 weeks or every 3, whatever, how often these are happening. Because if it's been out 2 months, there's 6 patches. That's about a week and a half ish for there.
It's so needed though, because like here's the thing. Like I played it last night. And I'll tell you why I played it, because I played a bit of Fortnite.
We streamed it.
No, I played it again by myself.
Oh, well,
to see if I was better by myself.
You were not. You were not.
It's just as a fun side effect. No, I'm not. But then I was like, after playing Fortnite, I was like, man, I want to go back to PUBG and see how it feels like different, because I like a lot about Fortnite.
I love Fortnite.
I'm going to get into that. Actually, my spotlight this week. Since I did PUBG last week, I thought it'd be fun to do Fortnite this week.
I thought about doing Fortnite. I'm glad I didn't do it.
Yeah. But I went to PUBG afterwards, and I still think it's the better game.
I think for you, it's the better game because it's definitely a you. Totally. Like it's funny because I was telling somebody, I go, PUBG's you, Fortnite is definitely, because we were talking to Ben at work. He asked, because he was watching, asked me how I thought about Fortnite versus PUBG, and I go, I like both.
Well, it's third person and crafting for you.
Yes,
I like the first person.
Well, I like first person in PUBG. I just crafting is the fact that I can build shit is my favorite.
Don't get me
Stairway
wrong.
to Heaven.
I like it a lot.
The Stairway to Heaven was awesome.
But I played it late last night. Like I said, like 2 in the morning or something. And I just was doing it for fun, just to see like if they had patched it recently. I didn't know, and then I noticed instantly how much better it felt. There was 0 rubber banding. There was a little bit of popping. There was instances where it's gonna be. There's still an entire building, and it would be empty, and then suddenly everything would go boom, and then be like, I'm in the middle of the sofa. Yeah. But the
and right you're running on Xbox One S.
I am,
just so everybody knows.
The right stick for grenades I figured out, because I was like, up is like the gun, the pistol now. So I was like, what's right? So like I press right, and then it gets the grenades. I was like, oh, good to know, because I want to start using those. But I noticed I didn't have to double tap the L stick, and I was like, oh, praise the Lord, this is the best update ever. You still have you tap it once to go iron sight and once to come out, basically. Yeah. So it's like it's still not like hold and then fire, which I would kind of prefer. I think.
Yeah, I'd prefer. I call it Destiny because that's what it is.
Right, and that's what every other first-person shooter does. But it's definitely better than it was, because I can deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The update I want from PUBG is I want the inventory kind of like Destiny, where it's got a cursor inside of it, so
streamline a little bit.
Yeah, so you can just highlight and go.
You get used to it, but it's definitely like
it's still a bit clunky.
You have to basically know you're safe before you can go into the inventory screen. There's no quick anything.
Yes, and you have to know. The part to me that sucks is putting attachments on. Is I have to go in, because I'm still learning what attachments go on what. It's you learn as you go along, obviously.
Basically, it's trial and error. At this point,
but you go through all your attachments, and like you said, you have to be somewhere safe to do it. There's no quick way of like going between things or taking off an attachment, put a new one on. The Y to drop something will be very useful for attachments. I think guns won't be as important unless you have a teammate with you that wants it. But like
about it now, I was doing that a lot as well. I was dropping things that I didn't need, and I'm just like, yeah, man, actually that stuff is all in there. So having played this update, inadvertently not knowing it, it's better. It's way better. And I got 5th. It was the highest I got.
Still haven't beat my second.
Going prone is so fucking ridiculously OP though, because I was on.
Why do you think I do it?
I was on this mountainside, like in the last circle, the smallest circle possible, lay down in the shady grass. People were just running over me. Like they didn't see me on the floor, running right over my head. And like at some point there was like I said there was like 4 other people left and me, or like 6 people or something. So I popped one guy. I didn't realize it was a squad though, so I instantly got traded out. But yeah, like the gunplay felt better. I felt like I had a better shot at it. Everything about it felt glorious. So yeah, it's definitely moving in the right direction. The new map should be really exciting when it gets to 1.0. But it's getting smoother. It's getting better. And
they're fixing the things they need to fix. Unlike Destiny.
Bungie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really...
Destiny YouTubers are stopping Destiny support. It's crazy.
I saw Destin was kind of talking about it. Destin Legary.
He
was saying that like he wants people to like it, but he understands at this point why people are fed up of it.
I haven't played. Yeah. My group of friends, as you know, we play with people on Destiny, and I've played. Prime example, Faction Rally, which happens once every season or twice a season. New gear, new armor. I'm like, I don't give a shit anymore.
Question for you. Destiny 3 comes out. Everyone says it's great. Do you do it?
Nope.
You're officially out now?
I'm not officially out. I'm going to wait and see.
Okay.
So this is the Battlefront feeling right now. Battlefront 1, not Battlefront 2.
Okay.
Didn't meet my expectations. I like the game, but if there's a little bit more to it, I would be all in. Like this, it's funny because this time was slightly better than Destiny 1, which is why I got in. And it was great until the end game. And now I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's I'm glad I stayed out of that one, and I know that there's people that still play it, but I also know that already.
I mean, I'm gonna do the raid and all that. I still have to do the raid layer, but outside of that, I'm like, there's not. I have the DLC. I already have the season pass, so I'm gonna play the next DLC when it comes out. Right. But once I'm done with that, I'm gonna be like, done. We're playing GTA 5 right now. It's actually a lot of fun.
Still,
there's a new heist that came out, so we're gonna do that. I probably will stream it at some point. I need to get $1 million first in that game. I have 600,000 last time I checked. But yeah, I've got a whole facility. Do you still have the game?
Yeah.
You should hop in and see how much shit I own now. I've spent over $30 million in that game. It's crazy. I have a mobile command unit.
You're like a CEO dude, right?
I'm a CEO. I own a bunker, so I sell illegal weapons. I own a facility, and I almost bought the fucking what's the Avengers helipad thing? Is that what it's called?
Gosh, the helicopter thing.
Yeah, you know what I'm calling? You know what it is.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I almost bought that, but I didn't. I own a lot of planes. I own a hangar. So we were basically doing buy and sell missions the whole time and making money. Bertrand just started playing online. It was his first time, so we're getting him leveled up so he can do the heists, because that's why we want to do it, to get people to do the heist, the new heist. So me and David own a shit ton of stuff.
I like it. I love GTA 5, the story. I love the single player.
The jobs are a lot of fun.
Online never hooked me. Like, I'll play it just to fuck around, but it never hooked me.
Do you ever do the jobs or anything online?
No, I'm not into that. I'm not into it.
Dude, the job, like the missions?
Yeah.
You'd love those. That's more like the story. It's like mini stories.
No.
So, yeah, we did one yesterday that, it was a 6-person team, and it was me and Bertrand live at the end, and we had to steal basically we had to steal cocaine from the airport hangar, and we thought we killed everybody, and then a fucking helicopter comes in and shoots rockets at us, and we were playing with randoms, and I'm sure they're staring at us like, these fuckers are gonna die. And I came out with like a sliver of health, dropped the cocaine off, got paid, took the money back, and I was good. We made our money. There was a lot of work for it, but that's not an indie game. That's a triple
not
game.
Even close to
that's
an indie
one. I think that's the biggest game ever when it comes to sales. But let's move on to some mini games. Let's talk about some spotlights here.
Go for it.
So my spotlight this week, I was gonna do Vanishing of Ethan Carter, but I want to play a little bit more before I spotlighted that. The devs did give us a key to that. I've hopped in, but I didn't want, because it's story based. I didn't want to just play it after playing for an hour and a half and be like, "Oh, here it is." So that'll be my spotlight next week. But this week, Human Fall Flat, which is part of that sale this week. Have you played this game? Do you know anything about this game?
Minimal.
Okay. So it's a physics-based puzzle-solving game. It's similar to Gang Beasts with how it controls. Like, that's what it reminds me of. And I don't know if it's the same developers. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. I didn't do that much research into it. But, man, it's a lot of fun. So my notes here is the character creator is fucking fantastic. It's just like Gang Beasts, where you have all this stupid over-the-top shit that you can make. And you're like, you can make it look as dumb as you want. Like, you have an officer, or you could have Santa Claus. Or you could just do a big party hat. Like, it's creating your characters, I would say, a big part of it, and you customize it and do it that way. The controls are a bit wonky, like Gang Beasts.
What's the actual, before we start getting into the controls and stuff, what's the game? Like, what do you do?
So what you do is you get dropped into this world, or there's different worlds as you go along, but you drop into this world and you got to figure out how to get from point A to point B. It's a puzzle solving game.
Okay.
So you have things you interact with in the environment that allows you
2D environment?
3D.
Okay.
3D environment that allows you to do or activate certain things. So there'll be levers, there'll be boards of wood you can move. There'll be like the first first level, you have to climb up the front of a train to climb up a building because it looks like the train crashed through the building. That's it. Like it's point A to point B, but it's about the journey, not the destination to get there. And there's multiple ways to do that. So you could like there's I don't want to say a set path because it's not true, but there is a preferred path that the game guides you down. But if you're like, I just want to jump fucking over to this cliff over here and see if I can get over, you can try that. And if it doesn't work, if you fall off the world, you just land right back at the checkpoint. So you literally fall down, and then you'll fall from the sky to where the checkpoint is. If that makes sense. So I got a trophy the other day because I was trying to do one, and I said, fuck this. And I jumped off the map, and it's like, nope, sorry. And the trophy's called, like, you're not getting away that easy or something like that. I was like, fuck you, game. I love trophies like that, but I was like, damn it. So that's the goal. Controls are very frustrating. It reminds me a lot of like Octodad or I Am Bread, where the controls are they're good. They're good enough to be able to function, but part of the puzzle element is getting the controls down to use them effectively.
Is that supposed to be part of the charm? Like that it's kind of chunky?
Yes.
Okay.
It's designed that way. It's not just like bad controls. The part that really, really bugs me with it, though, is the pulling yourself up onto something is not the easiest. So, like, you can run with your hands above your head and then grab and pull up. But sometimes if you pull up, if you're not high enough, you just hang there and then you got to do that jump again. And sometimes you will fall to your death. So that's kind of frustrating. I wish there was a better way of, like, pulling yourself up. Or, like, say you jump and you grab with one hand. I've yet to find another way to pull my left hand up and, like, climb. That would have been a nice thing to have to be able to get through some of these things where I just slightly miss a jump instead of having to go back and reset. Which the resets aren't that far back. It's just more annoying than anything else with something like that. It does not have multiplayer on console. The PC version does. There was a tweet from the developers saying they are looking into it, but there is nothing to confirm at this point. I think it's probably... It would be a no-brainer. It would make a lot of sense to do it. I think there's just logistical hoops they got to jump through to make that happen. I love this game. Like, it's one of those games, and it'd be... I don't know if it's on the Switch, but would be perfect for the Switch, where you jump in, you're in a world, and you spend 15, 20 minutes solving that puzzle, and then you can put it down, or you go on to the next one and like
you wipe your butt and
leave the toilet. Yeah. Like with me though, I went through and I played like 5-6 puzzles in one sitting and did that versus doing one at a time. But on Switch it'd be cool because you could do it one at a time. Puzzles are longer than others. There was times too where I found myself opening up whole different sections of maps that I didn't know existed. So you thought you were done, you get to this high point that you're aiming towards, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh, here's another half of the map you couldn't see before, and you're like, oh, but they have cool things. So it's not like you're doing the same thing over and over again. So like I said, you have like woods that you have to put across a gap so you can walk across it, which is in itself really hard because you're a wobbly character. And you can't line up the wood. It's physics, so if it swings, it's going to swing. They had one that I did where I had to ride a gondola. So you had to get in, you had to turn it on with a lever, hop in as it's moving up, jump off when you get to the top. There's water wheels, there's spinning logs. Like it's the level design is brilliant. That's where this game shines, is the quality they put in and the thought process they put into doing it. I would equate it to like Mario Sunshine when it came to just like getting around the levels. There's different ways to do it, and there's no right way or wrong way because they knew people would do it differently every time. So
I think with a lot of those physics-based games, they're kind of relying on you trying multiple paths to get through it because physics are crazy. So, you know, if you can really fuck with physics in games that are hardcore,
and I do
physics-based. So, yeah, I can see that.
The big issue I had on when I was playing it was I would literally get stuck. But I found there's a reset to less checkpoint inside the options, which is good. Like there was a rolling log, and I grabbed on the log, but it pulled my arm between the log and like the wall, and I couldn't get out. Like my arm was stuck. Yeah, like I was just jammed in there, and I was like, "Well, what the fuck am I gonna do now?" Because normally at that point I just try to fall to my death and just reset, but I couldn't. Like I literally was hanging from my arm, couldn't undo it. So I found a reset to last checkpoint, made life so much easier, way better. But yeah, this game is a lot of fun. Like I said, especially right now because it's on sale for I think $5.50 or $6 or something like that. It's well worth it. It was a lot of fun. The level design is diverse. It is frustrating at times just because controls sometimes will get in the way if you're not prepared for it.
It's kind of designed to be frustrating.
Yeah, the tutorial was actually quite interesting. So the tutorial, when I walked through, was not what I expected it to be. It's you land in the world, and the first time they're like, and now walk through the store. Oh, X is to jump, like everything else. But then you go to this, so you're going through the same section every time, or it feels like same section. And then the next time it's like, here's a door. Did you know you can push this button? So there's interactive things you can do. So it's teaching you can touch stuff in the world. So you push the button, door opens. And there's another one that's like, hey, have you tried pushing both buttons at the same time? So you're trying to stretch your arms out like this, ooh shit, and push buttons in with both hands. And things like that. Like it's showing you like there's no, again, it feels like there's no right and wrong way. There's different ways you can torture your body, and it's teaching you that you can stretch your arms out, you can put your arms up, you can do all these different contortions to solve the puzzle that is in front of you. So I had a lot of fun with it. It's gonna be one of those games I'm gonna continue to play on and off.
You think the price point is right?
Yes, even at full price. I want to say it's either 12 or 15 full price. 12 is sticking out my brain, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I really like for parties. I think this would be a lot of fun. Of like pick up, play. Somebody gets frustrated, hand on the next person, see if they can solve the puzzle.
People in the room helping out, that kind of thing.
Or just playing by yourself if you're a puzzle fan. Like half the fun is the controls, and the other half of the fun is solving where you need to go. And I guess the other like fifth of the fun. I know that's more than 100%. The other part of the fun is solving different ways to go there.
Right.
So you're like, okay, I did that. I see that thing of it. Can I go there to get somewhere else? So yeah, Human Fall Flat, a lot of fun. It's on Xbox or on PS4, Xbox, and PC.
Nice.
It's single player on console. It is multiplayer. It is multiplayer. It
Mm.
might be on Switch. I don't know.
I don't think it is currently. I
don't think it is.
I'm not sure, but it would be neat. It sounds like it's perfectly designed for that platform.
One way to find out. Human Fall Flat is on Switch.
Oh, there you go.
So
yay.
There you go. It doesn't have very good reviews on Switch.
Well, maybe it's the controls.
Yeah,
the controls on Switch are a little bit janky.
Yeah,
anyway, but
I mean the controls are janky.
Unless you have the Pro controller or whatever.
Yeah, it came out late last year on Switch.
Neat.
It's good to know.
Cool.
So all platforms, pick up that game. It's a lot of fun, but just know what you're getting into when it comes to the wonky controls, because otherwise you'll be frustrated.
Factor.
Yeah, you'll be frustrated if it's not what you're expecting. I knew going in what I was getting into. What about you? You said you're doing the Knights of Fort.
I am, because okay, so if you're like me, when Fortnite came out, you looked at this and you thought, yeah, it looks like Minecraft. I don't want anything to do with it. And
the single player game.
Yeah, the single player game.
And then I'm interested to see what that's
as
like.
we commented later on, after PUBG came out and became this kind of worldwide phenomenon of a game, Fortnite just stole a few things from the idea of how you play PUBG.
I'd be intrigued to see how long that they had that idea in development, whether it's after PUBG or if it's before.
There's no way they had it that exact way.
Because it didn't take them long to make it. That's because if they did, it didn't take them long. That's the thing.
It's not a complicated game to make if you have the assets already.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see.
But no. So basically, Fortnite was this Minecraft type game where you basically had to build a fort and survive the night against zombie hordes. And then they released a version of the game called Battle Royale, which is PvP.
Free.
It is 100% free. There is sort of battle tiers and stuff you can buy to unlock certain things. And
you get XP boosts, so you level quicker. It's all
not
cosmetics.
Necessarily pay to win, because you can get all of this stuff, but it takes a really long time to get all of this stuff.
But it's all cosmetics. It's not. From what I saw, there wasn't anything there.
I mean, there's costumes and things like that. Yeah,
but the guns you get in the world.
Yeah, but there is some stuff like extra XP and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. But so anyway, they released this variant of PUBG. Where it is a lot more cartoony style, like the Fortnite style of play. You are essentially assigned a random person,
which I don't like. I wish you could create
at the beginning. Yeah, I wish you could create a character
or choose a character at least.
But you get a random person. You are on a party bus that flies instead of a plane.
And apparently during the holidays, it was Santa in a sleigh or hot air balloon in a sleigh.
And you basically drop down into a various wherever you want to go on the map. I will say the falling or the initial like
jumping
part is done better than PUBG, because PUBG, like, you drop, you pull your parachute, that's it. It's on the realism side of things. With this one, you have like a glider, so
you can jump out, pull it, and then you can drop it again,
and then glide and drop and glide, and you can you definitely can control your landing.
You can go across the whole map.
Yeah, totally.
Which you did that one time because you're like, hey, we're going here, and I jumped out. I was like, oh wait, we're going over here.
And I made it. The map is, I would say, it's significantly smaller than PUBG. I think initially it felt kind of large, but it's really not. It's really not that big. And of course, it has the same mechanic in terms of it is a storm-based game. So you have a big circle. You have to be inside the circle. The storm moves in. You get a smaller circle. The storm moves in. You get a smaller circle. The storm moves in. And you're essentially forced to combat against people in a smaller and smaller arena. So here's where it differs from PUBG.
Which is the part I like.
Is that you can craft. So you start the game with a rather ridiculously cartoon-looking pickaxe that you can chop down trees and houses and cars and stone.
You can break anything in the game.
Anything, pretty much.
Or you can use it as a weapon against somebody if you don't have a gun yet.
True that.
Which is nice because PUBG has fists.
Instant melee, yeah. But yeah, so you collect things that you can craft with. The crafting menu is really quick to switch to, and it's not that in depth. It's essentially just like stairs, ramps, and
stairs.
Walls
Yeah,
and
it's stairs, platforms, walls, and
I guess walls and ceilings are the same. You just have to aim it differently. But
ceiling, they actually have like a pitch ceiling if you wanted it.
But it's
and you cycle through like different, because there's 3 types of materials. There's wood, stone, and
I never figured
metal.
out how to cycle.
L2 on PS4 is to cycle, because I looked at it, I was like, because I had like fucking 400 metal at one point. I was like, how do I? So
basically, having this element thrown into it means that all environments are destructible, and B, you can create your own environment.
And you can get to anywhere in the game. No problem.
And you literally can go anywhere you want to. Like as a joke, when we were doing our live stream, Keegan decided to build just a stairway that never ended. So we tried to go across the entirety of the map by just building. And
we spawned. We
made it pretty far before someone noticed.
We dropped into a fort. Well, I think what killed us was we tried to destroy the thing behind us and we fell.
We did make it really close though to the end. Yeah,
but we started in the forest, and I started chopping down trees while you guys were getting guns. I was like, I'm gonna, like, my head was like, let me try this and see if this, because I'm sure I'm not the first one who's been like, let's make a stairway to heaven. But it was a lot of fun. Like you said, it's really easy to do. You run as you go along and just build stuff up.
Yeah, pretty much by the time you get to the end of the ramp, you're building the second ramp. So it's so the crafting element is interesting. The gun element is even more interesting in some aspects, because with PUBG, it's a lot more realism based. So you go through your houses, you loot your stuff. There are multiple types of actual military grade weapons, and you have attachments for each of them. You can have so many attachment per weapon. Your inventory management is kind of really, really important. You can pick up backpacks to get more stuff, that kind of stuff. With this, it's a lot more casual. So it's like
6 slots.
For a start, guns are fucking everywhere. So it's not like in PUBG, you can literally like search for a while before you come across a gun in some instances, or at least a good gun.
Yeah.
In this, probably within the first 3 minutes, you're going to find at least a shotgun, right?
At least something to protect yourself with.
They have tiers of power. So you have like your plain,
gray.
I guess, white or gray tier. You have a green tier, blue tier, purple tier, and a gold tier. I got a gold tier sniper the other day. It was fucking awesome. So basically you get your weapons. You only have, I want to say there's like 6 to 7 slots that you have available, and that's for both weapons and like grenades and bandages and whatever else you're carrying. So the inventory management side of things is quite intense, because you really just have to say, okay,
what can I carry?
Yeah, these are basically like the 2 weapons I really, really want.
And then I'll carry shield up or whatever.
Yeah, everything else is expendable. Where the gameplay element gets more interesting is because of the building mechanic, you can make yourself an instant fortification. So if someone pops a shot at you with a sniper rifle from really far, you can just build a fucking wall in front of you and the sniper.
Use that as a shield.
Use it as a shield. Now those can be shot down and broken, but it's going to take a while with a
and
sniper
obviously
rifle,
the different materials. So like wood will be shot down, has less health than metal.
Yeah.
And they build at the same rate from what I've noticed.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
So think of it as just like almost like a cartoon stylized, more basic yet easier to play version of PUBG. That is still really fun. Like, it is fun, and that's the important part, because I was worried that it wasn't going to be fun because they were taking away so many of the combat elements that I really enjoyed from PUBG. But I think it definitely was more fun playing with you guys than it was by myself, because I played it by myself.
Well, it's because we're a lot of fun. You should know this.
That's true. But
because you don't know what's going to happen when I'm in a server.
But I think, like, when you're playing as a team, you know, you're watching each other's back. You have, like, people doing recon. You have people, like, building stairways to heaven. But so, like, it's the same for PUBG as well, I think. But, like, for this game specifically, I think is a lot more fun as a team. But it's good. It's not bad by any means. And for a game that is essentially just like this weird add-on to an existing game, mimicking aspects of PUBG and just making it more kid-friendly and simplified and kind of just like so anyone can pick up and play. I don't think there's anyone that could get this game and not figure it out in 5 minutes. With PUBG, I feel like you might need 5 matches.
Crafting might take a little bit to get used to.
The speed of crafting, I think you can figure it out pretty fast, but I think being able to do it efficiently fast.
Yep. Which by the end of it, like there was one section where we were in the middle of the map, and I just started building a fortification tower because we were in the middle of what I thought was going to be the last circle, and
circle moved.
No, the circle didn't move. You went down, and then somebody shot me from below because I was about to make the floor a different material, but I got shot before that happened.
Yeah,
the floor was gone.
That is kind of the end dynamic of the game as well. With PUBG, basically, you're forced into this small space where it is just like kill or be killed, hide the best you can.
It seems like an open field usually,
right? But with this one, it's more like most people have been gathering materials throughout the majority of the game, so by the time they get to the end, their goal is to build themselves a goddamn castle. So, you know, you'll find where people have predicted the end circle to be, and then they'll just be like building this gigantic fortified thing where they have sniper towers and all kinds of stuff. And I think that's kind of enjoyable. I think that I like that aspect. I haven't done that yet personally because I prefer to be hiding in a bush somewhere with a rifle.
Yeah, I need to not build just straight up. My problem is I build a tower that's straight up. I need to build like around it so that way if someone shoots the floor, I have somewhere else to run to.
Right.
But
because you can't shoot people down from the sky, and
which is good,
satisfying.
Which is good.
Yeah,
that's the way. Because otherwise it'd be too OP to do that.
Yeah,
I like that. I do also like that it is very easy to switch between materials and do it because like. When we got to the top, that first time I switched from wood to metal and I had the floor more protected versus like the walls at that point, nobody's probably shooting our walls out. They're shooting the floor out because we're above them. So there's a little bit of strategy when it comes to crafting as well. They also have traps that you can put in. So if somebody is chasing you, you can find those. You can't craft those, which I liked.
Yeah.
I put one. We were cooped up in a house one time and a team bum rushed us. So I decided to put a trap down at the top of the stairs. Didn't realize, I totally forgot. That they could craft as well. So I was like, oh, we're in a balcony. I was thinking PUBG, they're going to come up the stairs. They built a wall and came up the other direction. Yeah. And I was like, that's an element that you have to keep in mind. Like, you can craft, I've seen...
You can't just sit and camp at a door.
Yeah, we've seen stairs that are like, just to go over a hill. Or there was one moment you're like, Keegan, have you been here? I was like, no, why? Like, because there's a bridge that goes over this gap here. I was like, oh.
And you spent yourself in the attic for
till the circle moved.
20 minutes.
I had 10 health
to move. Just barricaded himself in.
Yeah. I knew how many people were around me.
But overall, it was fun.
I wish the map. I got bored of the map quicker because they're smaller.
I absolutely agree. I would say that the things that it needs are bigger maps or more maps.
Of them.
They have added areas.
Yeah.
Or they are adding
They
areas.
added 2 or 3 new areas.
There's like an underground and stuff like that they added. But honestly, you're not really going to spend too much time in those types of places because a lot of it is just stick and move. It's like, okay, get your stuff, move, get your stuff, move. So there's not a lot of time to smell the roses. I almost feel like the map moves faster in this game than it does in PUBG as well.
The games are a lot quicker.
Yeah, so you're in and out a lot faster. But it's not bad. It's really not bad. In comparison mode, it's difficult to say. I think the best way to break it down is that if you've watched this show for long enough, you know the types of things that I enjoy, you know the types of things that Keegan enjoys. So if you are usually more aligned with Keegan in terms of the types of games that he talks about and plays, you're probably going to enjoy Fortnite more. If you're usually more aligned with me in the types of games that I talk about and play, you're probably going to enjoy PUBG more.
But we both like both.
Like
it's not. We're not saying either game is bad. It's just personal preference at this point of which one we want to do.
One
and one's free.
It over the other. Yeah, one's free, which is a very solid point. And
also, Fortnite, on top of that, the PvE will be free when it goes full release because it's technically early access. So sometime 2018, you're gonna have the full game for free.
Yeah, so it's neat. It's definitely worth a shot. I think, you know, for free especially, you can't really complain about it. For those of you that are on PlayStation 4 that have been waiting for, you know, PUBG to make its way over, this is a good tide me over. This is a good get used to the idea of how PUBG works, and then when PUBG does finally drop, you won't be able to craft anything, but you will have an idea of the gameplay and kind of how to play it, and then hopefully you can enjoy that as well. So yeah, so Fortnite Battle Royale, really enjoyed it. Had a great stream because that was the first time I played it. Was on the stream with you guys on Sunday. I have played it since as well. I recorded some footage for the show of me soloing it, and yeah, it was a good time. So I would say it's definitely worth the hard drive space, which is essentially all you're giving up
like
to
6
play
gigs,
this game. And it's a good drop in, play, drop out. You know, you can literally finish. I don't think any single game went over half an hour.
Yeah, and it's also one of those games that, like, for me, I play with a lot of people. It sucks. They're hopefully going to do 6v6. I hope at some point.
Yeah, at the moment the squads top out at 4,
and we had
PUBG
a 5th one
top out at 4 as well. So, but I would like bigger squads just so you can have more of your friends involved and stuff.
But it's one of those ones that, like, hey, because for me, like I said, I play with a lot of people online, so it's like we don't always all have the same game. You can be like, hey, do you want to get this game? It's free. Same thing with Brawlhalla. Brawlhalla is another one. I'm sure we're going to spotlight in the future once I have a chance to play it, but it's another free game that is just, hey, pick up this game. It's free.
Yeah.
Like whenever a game is free, I always get it, and then if I don't like it, I'll just delete it. No harm, no foul.
The only other thing I can think of, which is kind of a significantly different element between the two games, is that there are no vehicles in Fortnite, which is something that is a kind of an integral part of PUBG. Is you know,
but the map's also bigger, so I think that's
true. You do need to get to the terrain faster. There's no combat zones or anything like that you have to bomb through. But I think that because your run speed is better, it's definitely smoother than PUBG.
Yeah,
like even
I also like the hidden chest thing too. Like you can hear the chest, and you're like, I can hear it. Where is it at? And you can use crafting. Like there's a house I was in. I was like, I hear this fucking chest. Where is it? And I was like, it's in the attic. It's above me, but there's no stairs to the attic. So craft your own stairs to get to the attic.
Chest, yeah.
So
that's Fortnite Battle Royale. Definitely try it if you have a PlayStation. It's on other consoles too, but I think for those of you that do have a PlayStation and are missing out on PUBG, this is a good time filler, and it's a good game to play overall. So that's my spotlight of the week is Fortnite Battle Royale.
Cool.
With cheese.
Let's move on to the question. The question this week was based because of the Sonic creator Yuji Naka going to Square Enix. Obviously, Sonic's not going with them, but this now gives Yuji Naka the ability to potentially work with Square Enix IP and or other things. So my question was, what creator / game dev would you want to have access to a Nintendo IP to do whatever the hell they wanted? So a prime example of that right now is Ubisoft had Rabbids, a game like that. What creator would you like if they could have any Nintendo IP, and it doesn't have to be Mario, it's anything, Donkey Kong, Kirby, whatever it may be, anything under that umbrella.
Good question.
F-Zero, all Nintendo owned. What would it be and who would it be?
I got 2 off the top of my head.
Okay, I'm guessing one's Kojima.
Give Zelda to Kojima.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
What do you think would happen?
I don't know.
I mean, it's obviously Kojima.
I honestly don't know. I think he would go for realism. Well, not realism, but I think he would go for like the graphical fidelity of something like a Metal Gear, because he
like an Unreal Zelda,
right? An Unreal 4 Zelda. But I think that the dark overtones of the story would be super, because Zelda has dark overtones, right? It's just that because it's Nintendo, they always end up being kind of like jokey.
They neuter it.
I mean, when you look at like the moon, and the moon's going to kill you in 3 days and stuff, like Kojima would love that shit. So yeah, give Zelda to Kojima and see what the fuck happens there, because I guarantee it would be incredible. And the other thought that I had was give Mario and friends to Insomniac, because
see what they could do.
Yeah, because I feel like they did such a good job of the 3D platforming genre with Ratchet and Clank, and obviously they're doing a great job with Spider-Man and stuff now. But that company consistently has proven itself time and time again to really know what the fuck they're doing with IP, and also just with that cartoony style. So I think that if you gave Insomniac a shot at Mario, that would be really interesting to see what came out of that, and give Hideo a shot at Zelda. And I think that would be a game for the ages, honestly. So yeah, those are the two off the top of my head that I can think of. I'm sure there's more Nintendo IP that I'm not thinking about right now, but those two I think would be incredible. What do you got?
Mine would be the Yoshi franchise, so Yoshi Mario kind of combo.
Okay.
Give them to Rockstar and see what would happen. Because Rockstar...
okay.
Because if you think about it, Rockstar... Most people think Rockstar is like Red Dead and GTA 5, but like LA Noire, like could you imagine having a more serious toned style Mario and Yoshi game of like maybe it's Yoshi's backstory of like how he found Mario, and like it's this, because I picture Yoshi having a really depressing backstory and I don't know why, but I'm sure he does.
He gets shit on by Mario.
Like I just feel like they could do something really interesting that's a completely different plot twist than what you'd expect with that franchise. But Yoshi, I feel like Yoshi in other hands would be quite interesting because he's such a unique character that he can stand on his own, or he can go with Mario or Luigi.
What do you picture it looking like though? Like Red Dead / GTA or something more kind of self-contained, like Warriors or Bully or.
I pictured it.
Manhunt.
Yeah, I pictured it more.
Just fucking
more like a Bully type thing where you're telling a single narrative of Yoshi.
But it's still like a
but it all
space.
Yeah. But I don't know what it would be like. Maybe you go to Yoshi's home island and you figure out where all the Yoshis are from, and there's something going on there, or whatever it may be. Like, I just want to see what they would do, because I think it's funny because we're both like, we want more grittier looking things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with like I said with Insomniac and Mario, I'm okay with cutesy there.
Yes,
but I do think that there's certain Nintendo
that would
stories
be quite interesting.
That would be.
I mean,
really
Samus. Could you imagine Samus with like 2K or like what's the?
God, even give that to Hideo as well.
Yeah, no. What's the Dark Souls?
From Software.
Them.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine Samus in their hands?
From Software.
Yeah,
crazy.
that would be insane because
Metroid is hard as fuck anyway. So yeah, you may as well give it to From Software and see how much harder they can
see what they can do with it, like stuff like that. And I think like. To me, also, F-Zero would be cool to give to like a racing franchise, so maybe like a Gran Turismo.
You know what else would be interesting, actually, would be to give Metroid to Capcom.
Yeah, and see what they do with it.
Because if they could pull off Resident Evil 4 style Metroid game, like fully actionable, but like with the gunplay and stuff of a Resident Evil game, that would be interesting. I'd like to see that, but maybe just a little bit, because they did. Did you ever play Vanquish?
No,
I think Capcom did Vanquish. I might be wrong there, but Vanquish was like it was you were kind of this weird mech suited guy, but they had like you could go on your knees and like literally slide on the floor for as long as you wanted to. So it was super hyper action orientated, but it was a shooter, and I think that style is something that Capcom does very well, that kind of hyper Japanese style, which would fit with Nintendo. So
the other thing I thought of was it's Against Gravity, right? Rec Room guys, right? Yeah, Against Gravity. Give them just access to the character pool VR. To do something in the VR world, whether it's a game that they make or whatever it may be. Like what I picture that being is you jump into an arcade cabinet or something and it switches between different style games. So like you start out and you are he was Jumpman at the time, but you're Mario in the Donkey Kong game where you're jumping over the barrels. And you got to make it to the top. And then you get to the top and it switches to another arcade game or maybe it switches to like Wind Waker or Ocarina of Time, where you go through a section of that. Maybe you're in the water temple or you're in the fire temple or whatever, maybe, and do a section of that. And it's this Nintendo arcade, but each level is just a different IP that goes along through it. It's going to be a lot of fun to have first-person perspectives of that.
You know what I always thought would be cool? And I don't know who you would give this to other than, like, Activision or something.
Yeah.
But you know how, like, when Mario went to Mario Kart, everyone was like, that's not going to work. And then, like, they obviously knocked it out of the park. Like, a first-person shooter-based Mario game where the weapons are similar to that of Mario Kart. So you're shooting green shells. Kind of like,
you could do it in Insomniac, but I guess they did third person for Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, no, I went first person. Yeah. I want it so like
give it a Bungie, they'll fuck it up.
Because it's not like they don't have guns, because like with the Rabbids game, they give them guns, right? So you could have like these cutesy fucking things, but like you get a mushroom and suddenly you're like way bigger than everybody, and you're like shooting down.
Could you imagine a VR Mario game?
They have Mario Kart VR. Looks
no, I'm talking like a traditional. You take a mushroom. You're just this fucking ginormous Mario now.
I don't know how I'd feel about that. I feel like I'd get really motion sick.
Yeah,
in a VR
I didn't say it would work. Could you just imagine that kind of thing? The initial thought I had was like either 2K or EA Sports doing a sports game for Mario.
They do it pretty good. Nintendo does a decent job with their sports.
Except for the last Mario Tennis. I'm hoping the new Mario Tennis they announced is way better.
It's like Mario Tennis Aces.
Aces. Yeah, Aces. Do you know what an ace is in tennis?
I do. It's when you serve and you score the point right off the bat.
There you go. That's why it's called Aces. But yeah, I just was a fun question because I was kind of like, one of those things. What is an IP? Because there's lots of IPs. Like Kirby would be a fun one, I think, to have somebody just mess around with, or Donkey Kong would be a fun one to have somebody mess around with.
Icarus needs to come back.
Yeah, like there's a bunch that have not been made in a long time that you're just like, oh yeah, that's Nintendo based. Like
anything from Smash, really.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to think of the Smash lineup of like who's there.
Technically, Pokemon's Game Freak. It's not really Nintendo.
But it's that would partially
cool.
owned.
Give fucking Pokemon to Hideo, see what happens. But no, that's a great question.
Or Pokemon RPG. Could you imagine a true Pokemon RPG? Well, I guess that's what Pokemon is, but like a true Pokemon RPG in 3D.
Supposedly there's a full.
That's what they're doing.
That'll be the game that cements the Switch as one of the greatest consoles of this generation.
Yes.
I think when they fully release a 3D Pokemon game. But I think that it's a good point that you raise, because like Nintendo has all of these properties that they always do a great job with their first party IP, but it would be like there's probably developers out there that are like chomping at the bit to just be allowed to do something. I bet Ubi loved it when Nintendo was like, hey,
I'm surprised that happened. Like we were both like, holy shit, like, but it ended up being really good, and I hope that opens the door to other things that happen.
Exactly. I hope Nintendo becomes more open to the idea,
because the reason they shut down was because they had a few shit, like I said, the games that you don't remember.
Yeah,
I'll show you some video of them afterwards of what they look like. They're real bad.
A moment in game history or something. Nintendo, games that Nintendo
I might do. I don't have one for Friday. That'll be the moment in game history. We'll talk about Hotel Mario and Zelda, whatever the fuck it's called. I can't think of the name right now.
Hotel Mario, I've never heard of.
Yeah.
I'm excited. That'll be
good. Let's
do that.
Yeah. But what IP would you guys want from Nintendo, and who would you want to touch it, and what would you want them to do with it? Like you said, I think Insomniac would be a good one for 3D platformer.
They know what they're doing.
Hideo would be fun, just in general. It doesn't matter which one he has.
Not really. I just thought Zelda has enough dark elements
that it would work,
that he would be able to do something cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love
flying whales everywhere.
Oh god. Is that a fire whale? Yeah. Welcome to Kojima. I would love to see a Bloodborne-esque
From Software
Metroid game, because I think that would be of the IPs. I probably wouldn't play it personally, but that would be a really cool combination to see. And then sports games, that kind of stuff. So, what do you guys want to see? What IP? Which one did we miss? There's lots of IPs out there that Nintendo owns that I'm just completely not thinking of right now. But this has been Indie Please Add Details, episode 21. We can legally drink in the United States now, Tom.
Cool.
This is our weekly dip in the world of indie games.
Episode 18, just so you know.
Oh, well, you can't do that in the States. This is our weekly dip in the world of indie games and indie developers, where we discuss the news and our indie excursions throughout the week. We then top it all off with a topic of discussion that you can join either in the comments down below, or you can hit us up on Twitter at Level2GamersSTL, or Discord, link in the description. You can see our lovely faces on level2gamers.com. Hi, if you see us. We have a studio behind us. We have a screen behind us that puts video up. In case you're listening
on audio and you wonder what this occasionally weird noise is that comes up, that is like...
It's Tom breathing.
I do vape on the show. I know it's kind of like, vape, bro. Like, I'm not that guy, but I do... It relaxes me for our conversations, and I'm sure it smells nice to you. So. And
if you want to listen to us, you can hit us up on podcast services, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and any other ones that you listen to. This has been Indie Please Add Details, episode 21. Hang out next week for episode 22, and then we got a week off because Wizard World is coming up. But thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, welcome to the second level. Bye.
It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level.